Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thank you for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout for the Cocoa Vanilla Studio design team. I've been super busy this week with videos, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this. Now, we are focusing on the thankful theme this week, and I'm using Bohemian Dream again, and I love that colorful, sketchy, painty look on that paper, and I have not used it yet. And I went to Pinterest and thought, I need to find a fun quote that has to do with being thankful or being grateful, because I've already used thankful and grateful and I couldn't think of a title. And so I found this quote that says, there is always something to be thankful for. And I thought that would be really nice quote to use, and I thought I could make it into an entire background design. So I found a couple fonts on my computer and cut it, and I'm going to add the word always later. I cut that separate. And so I'm using some white gesso to smudge over this pattern paper. It's a really pretty white and gray wood grain paper, and I thought it would make a great background because it's pretty light, and it's going to match pretty much every color that I add to it. And it pained me to cut into that paper, but I just had to do it. You know, I've been hoarding all these papers that I love, and it makes me sad to cut into them because of their beauty. I know you've all experienced that. I go through this quite a lot, but all these colors, and oh, it's just so pretty. So I wanted to back the open spots of some of these words with this paper, and so I just kind of moved it around and found the perfect spot with the perfect splotches of color and just glued it down. And this is something I know a lot of people do, backing cut files with pattern paper. And you can see how fun this is because you can find an exact spot on paper to use. And I love all of those colors showing through. Now I'm going to try to add just some blue behind something to be, just to kind of break it up. And then I'm going to cut always on some purple. And so I've got some scripty fonts and some block fonts and a different kind of all kinds of fonts. I love to mix and match. And this quote was just long enough to kind of make into a background design, I guess you could say. So it's going to be the title, but it's also going to be the design. So I'm going to use a couple different things here. I'm going to use my Prima watercolor crayons. They're almost like gelatos. I've had these for a while and thought I would pull those out and give them a try. And I'm just scribbling onto the paper. I'm scribbling onto some plastic, adding a little bit of water, and kind of turning it into watercolor. And these are pretty fun to use because you can draw directly on the paper or you can water them down. So many possibilities. And you can scribble them together and mix and match and get new colors. And I'm also going to add in some of my shimmer sprays and just kind of mix and match until I get the colors that I want. And this is the fun part for me for creating a background like this, because you know, anything's possible with the different colors. And when you have a bunch of gelatos or these watercolor type crayons, you really can create whatever color you want, because when you put two together, like I'm putting that brownish burnt orangey color and mixing it with the yellow to get that deep orange color that's in the paper, because the orange gelato itself was way too orangey. So yeah, you just kind of layer the colors together and add water and add some spray, just kind of add it all together, and you never know what you're going to come up with. I'm rambling, I know you know all this already, right? But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to do. And once again, I think I've done this every time I've created a layout with Bohemian Dream, is I feel compelled to use all the colors. I can't go with just the pinks or just the purples. I just see all those colors and I think rainbow. And I think on every, this is the third layout so far I've made with this, and every one of them has been, I've used every color. I just can't refrain from doing that because they're so pretty. So I'm splotching down some yellow. I'm going to splotch. Why am I saying splotch? Splatter down some turquoise and some more pink. And then I spray some water right onto it. And that kind of helps give a puddled watercolor look by adding the water and just letting it dry instead of dabbing it up. And it looks a little bit different than the packaging technique. So here are my pictures, more selfies. I know I take a lot of selfies of me and my girls, but I can't help it because they always just turn out so cute. And I always love scrapping them because they're just everyday moments. And I'm definitely thankful for those everyday moments. And so I printed out 3 pictures here on a 4x6 photo sheet, and I'm just going to leave them together. Sometimes I'll cut them up and space them around, but I knew that I wanted kind of a photo strip to go right under thankful for, just to kind of complete the design. And now I'm going to pull in some embellishments. If you have seen the vellum shapes, I believe they're all flowers and leaves. I have not used those yet because, once again, I've been hoarding them because they're gorgeous. I finally decided to use some. I'm going to use a pink one on the left and an orange one on the right. And then I also have the die cut ephemera pack spread out there, and I'm going to add a couple of things from that. I don't want to get too crazy with embellishments because I think everything is pretty as is, and I don't want to cover up any of the words because the colors look so pretty. But I am going to glue down these vellum flowers. And that's some foam that I added behind that little floral die cut and behind my pictures. Yeah, I highly recommend checking out Pinterest for quotes. Anytime you're struggling to come up with a layout idea, or a title idea, I mean, or a design, go to Pinterest and type in, I think I typed in thankful quotes or grateful quotes, and you can almost always find something really cool to turn into a design. So once I found this quote, I thought, I'm going to make this my entire background. And once you do that with a bunch of letters or a bunch of words, it kind of takes up almost the whole space. And so you have limited space. Like, I knew when I designed this that I was going to have to put my pictures down at the bottom because where else would they go? And so it kind of takes out some of the guesswork of the design. So once you have your words organized, adding the pictures is pretty easy. And then the rest of it's embellishing. So this layout for me did not take very long. And I usually take a lot of time. I'm a very slow scrapper. So this kind of made itself, if that makes any sense. So I added in a couple more vellum shapes. I added in those 2 butterflies. And then I went through the chipboard sheet and I picked out a couple of hearts that I'm going to use. And when I added my liquid glue to the vellum flowers, they really curled up. So I realized, I knew that they would do that, but you know, they're vellum. And so as soon as any kind of liquid hits it, it's going to curl and crinkle. So I probably should have used some tape for that, but I was just going for it. And so, yeah, just be noteful, that's not a word. Be, what's the word? I can't even think. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving here, and so all I can think about is food. So if I'm saying words that don't make sense, that is probably why. Be mindful of that is what I was trying to say. Anyway, I did some stitching. I showed you that up close there through the word there and the word thankful with some light blue thread. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of journaling. I almost just freehanded that, but then I thought, no, get out your ruler. I cannot write in a straight line. It will definitely be crooked, and that would bug me. So definitely want to make sure that that's straight since everything else is pretty straight. And then the last thing I'm going to do is go through and add some black splatters, just since I've got the butterflies and the pictures are in black and white. And that is it. I love how this turned out. I'm so glad I found that quote. Check out Pinterest, definitely. Definitely check out Bohemian Dream if you haven't yet, because as you can see, it's a stunning collection. The colors are just beautiful. So let me know if you have any questions about anything that I did, any of the techniques or any of the products, anything like that, and I'll be more than happy to answer you. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.